Is now the right time to become an agent? Good afternoon, everyone. I have a story today from CNN of all places, and the title is, is now a good time to become an agent, or the headline. And that got me thinking. It's an article that comes up from time to time, but it doesn't really matter when the market, what the market's doing. So for example, when the market's cold, you'll still see an article is now a good time to become a real estate agent. It's a question that people have always wanted the answer to and just never gotten around to it. And so every 4 or 5 years, they just put it down on an article. So today's article is from CNN, and we'll just go over it in a minute. For those of you who don't know me, my name is John Schenk, and I'm the founder and managing broker of Deerwood Realty here in St. Louis. We're not a law firm, as I said yesterday. I don't know where that came from. If you like to talk about real estate, if you like to talk about neighbors, HOAs, things of that nature, check us out on our channel, Deerwood Realty STL on YouTube, or you can find us on as our podcast version on things like Deezer and Stitcher and, of course, Apple Podcasts. And if you like the commentary, please consider subscribing. That really helps the channel. And so just wanted to go over this article and look at that. There's going to be an ad. Ugh, pop-ups. Anyway, so here it is. The article is, here's why it's not a great time to become a real estate agent. And it follows a fellow that just started in the business a couple months ago, and he's going through things, and apparently it's not as easy as he's been led to believe. So I just wanted to go over the highlights of the article, and I just wrote them down because I can't remember anything, it seems. So we're just going to switch over to here, and I'm going to pull up my notes. And so, number one, in the article, it says there are more realtors in the U.S. than there are houses for sale. 1.5 million agents to 1.3 million houses for sale. Now, as a real estate agent, you're going to need at least a few deals just to get by, because you have to pay. You have to pay for your board membership. You have to pay for insurance. You have to pay, if you're working for a brokerage, you have to pay maybe a franchise fee or a desk fee, any number of fees. So quite a few thousands are going to be going to fees, business expenses, things like that, just to get off the ground. There's 1.5 million agents, and there's 1.3 million houses for sale. So you're going to need more than a few deals to get by, and the article is saying that's unprecedented that this is the situation. Now, my own experience tells me that out of that 1.5 million agents, you got 20% that do all the work and 80% that just kind of sit around. So it's not even close to as bad as the article says. And plus, you've got people that are in their 80s or 90s might not be knocking down doors right now to be agents, but they just don't want to get rid of their license in case somebody in their family or one of their friends wants to buy a house or sell a house. That's where they're at. So it is unusual statistically to see, though, 1.5 million versus 1.3 million homes for sale. Another thing I noticed in the article, it says in Austin, Texas. Now, Austin, Texas is the place to be right now if you're in real estate. You get out of California, get out of New York, you move to Austin. Everyone moves to Austin because there's business down there, and there's people just moving down there, all the time. So it's not like St. Louis, where it's just stagnant. So anyway, in Austin, the realtors outnumbered the homes for sale by 8-1. And so that's tough. That's tough. So for every one house up for sale, there's 8 real estate agents. And that's not good. That's not good. So during the pandemic, the article says there were 130,000 new agents. And what I would say to that is anecdotal evidence always. I do have my foot in the real estate business. And so I see this in my own business. Houses that I would normally list from someone now are going to a family member or a close family friend. Okay. Clients I have worked with in the past, now their kids are in the business and they go with them. Now, does that make me sad? I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to tell somebody, a client that you've worked with in the past, like, oh, no, you shouldn't use your kid, you should use me. It doesn't really work that way. So I can see that. Now, what happens is all these people come in the market, okay? All these agents come in, and it's vicious, okay? And then they leave. Sometimes they leave because of they can't make it. Sometimes they leave because they find something better. But when you have this huge event like the sales market that we have now that no one's ever seen before, you're going to draw. Like money attracts people all the time, or the thought of money, like they can get money. So that's what really happens now. You're going to see a ton of agents in the market, and then 5 years from now, you're not going to know any of those people because they're not in the business anymore. So in the article, it says there's a second generation realtor that says they aren't making money hand over fist because people that can buy a new house can't find one. And this has been my experience as well. So I have people that would happily sell their house today if they could buy another house. But what's happening now is, like, let's just say a 3-bedroom home. Let's say that the sellers are in a 3-bedroom home. Well, there's 2-bedroom homes that are selling for more than the 3-bedroom homes are selling for right now. So for them to move up, even if they made money on the deal, they're still not getting anywhere. They're still not getting to where they want to go. So they're just literally sitting around and waiting. And so that's the reality. Now, are prices going to come down? Well, they came down in 2007. Does that mean it's going to be tomorrow? No. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't like to sit there and predict things. I just know that right now it's a very hot seller's market, although it has been cooling seasonally. But you never know what's going to happen in the future, and I'm not. If I could predict the future, I'd play the lottery and win. So finally, I touched on this earlier, and being a real estate agent is like a revolving door for many people. I've not seen a statistic that compares restaurant owners with real estate agents. I just know that a ton of people will come into the real estate business thinking it's very easy money and that they don't have to work. And then within 6 months, they're out. Within a year, they're out. And so that happens all the time. That doesn't matter if the market's hot or the market's cold. Now, what does change is a situation like now where everyone is seeing all these home prices go for huge amounts of money. That will track. That's more of a macroeconomic. That will bring in people that wouldn't have otherwise thought of it. And then when the market tanks, or if the market tanks, we don't know, that's when everybody will leave. That'll be a macro trend for why people get out of the market. So myself, I don't worry. If someone wants to be a real estate agent, I've never told somebody they shouldn't be a real estate agent. I don't see the point. What I do tell people is that you want to have a good idea about what you're getting into. And I think there's some certain keys for success, but I don't know everything. And I know that there's some agents, some brokerages where you take a test and this test magically finds you're the best agent ever. You just didn't know it. And that helps you get through the first year because you actually believe the test. But, if you feel like, if you feel like it's something that you've always wanted to try, then do it. And if it doesn't work out, just give yourself time. Say, I'm going to try this for 2 years, and if it doesn't work, I quit. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But obviously, don't go through life with regrets. Don't be 80 years old and say, "Oh, I wish I was a real estate agent when I was 20." And don't live your life that way. And take a shot at it. It's very, very difficult right now, but it's always going to be difficult. There's always, everyone has a cousin, a brother, a family friend in real estate. That's just the way it is. The way real estate marketing goes, you market to your sphere of influence, so the people that you're close to. So it's always gonna be a challenge, and the question is whether or not you should try it, or if you should just find something else. So you're never going to hear me say it's a bad idea to become a real estate agent, even in a market like today. But just know that there's a high rate of failure. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like I said, if you could subscribe, that would help. If you have questions, if you have comments, 314-274-3964, media at Deerwood Realty STL, and I will read those. I will look at those, and I will listen to those, and we'll go from there. So thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.